Here we go.
And with that, folks, we're live. Welcome to Retro Reload. This is episode, doesn't even matter, but this is the West Coast edition. I am Dash V.
I am Mr. Nikon.
I am T-Pugmire.
I am Red Blaze.
And folks, this episode, we're actually going to be doing a little mini celebration of the 80s. However, we have a little bit of a problem in that only 3 of your 4 hosts today actually experienced the 80s firsthand. So we're going to be giving Red Blaze a baptism by fire into the 80s, Kung Fury style. So look forward to that toward the end of the episode. We're going to be watching Kung Fury together, and we're going to be getting folks' reactions to it. So first of all, has anybody already seen Kung Fury?
I have not.
Okay.
Nope.
Have you seen it, Tyler?
No, haven't.
Okay, great. I have seen it, and I've seen it, I think, at least 6 times already, and it is absolutely amazing. It's everything that was awesome and awful about the 80s in 30 minutes. It's really, really great. So I'll be interested in everybody's opinions, especially Red Blaze. So
if the Soviets nuke us during this broadcast, remember where your fallout shelters are.
So
Gorbachev.
I did receive, and this is, I believe this is, Red Blaze, maybe you can answer this, or I can just look in the back of this device. No, I can't. It doesn't tell me. Was the Game Gear made in the 80s?
It
No.
was...
I
Or was
think
that
so.
early
Early
90s?
90s.
Early 90s.
Early 90s. Alright, well, I do have a mystery package that is from the early 90s. Can anyone guess what this video game-related, Game Gear video game-related mystery package is? If you guys guess it correctly, I will give you a copy of Sonic and Tails for the Sega Game Gear.
Is it the TV tuner?
It's not the TV tuner.
Ah.
I have no idea. I just really got a Game Gear last weekend.
Really?
Yeah,
How'd you come across that?
some random guy in California gave it to me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Bore no resemblance to me. I think the guy probably had a beard, right?
I think so, yeah.
Long, scruffy beard. So, Red Blaze, any guesses as to what the mystery magic package is?
Let's see. I'm gonna say Axe Battler, A Legend of Golden Axe.
Alrighty. You don't want to throw even just like a random guess in there, Pugmire? He doesn't care because he's already got a copy of Sonic and Tails for the Game
I
Gear.
have that too.
So,
Either that or Sonic Chaos.
I don't know.
I think-
Sonic 1.
Sonic 1. Alright, well, let's see what this is. Now, interesting also bit of trivia. I'm not going to show it because it has my address and everything on there, but I buy everything on eBay with my wife's eBay account. So if this doesn't turn out to be something I ordered on eBay, the show could get pretty interesting. so we'll see what...
There's
We'll
a
see.
Shin Megami Tensei title on the Game Gear.
Really?
Yeah, Japan only. So even if you get it, you're not gonna be able to understand.
Oh, look! It actually came with a letter, with a little kitty cat on the stationery.
From Betty.
Thank you for your purchase. If you have any problems, please contact me. Wow, it's at AOL.com.
Wow.
I did not know. Thank you, Betty, at AOL.com.
You can contact her on AIM.
I know. Keyword Game Gear stuff. So, alright. Here is what I got.
Ooh.
The Game Genie. Unlock the power of most of your video games. Like
Of course.
Sonic 3 or Streets of Rage.
Enter this code.
Yeah, I actually found this on eBay. It was $20. It's supposed to be. It is. It's in pretty good shape. It's supposed to be complete. So there's the instructions. Here's the warranty card. Woohoo! Ooh, I can order code updates. That's pretty cool.
Wow.
It's even got the stickers.
Nice.
So, and then let me see. It's got the Game Genie device itself. It kind of looks like a jock strap in a way.
Looks like a
That's
tricorder.
an odd comparison to make.
So it has a little game booklet. That's pretty neat. Looks like some slow reading, but so let me see what it looks like actually in the Game Gear. Ooh. Do I actually have batteries in this? I don't have batteries in this, so I can't test it out on the spot, but that's kind of interesting look that it gives the whole Game Gear.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a little bit, as if your Game Gear wasn't large, bulky, and heavy enough already, the Game Gear accessory. So, but anyway, this is one of those items that I don't know. How do you guys treat your wish lists on VG Collect? Like, for me, like, if I definitely want it and I don't want to forget to get it or to have it on my radar, I'll put it in my wish list. But some stuff like this just becomes like impulse buy, or I just buy it because it's out there and I don't have it and I can get it for a good price. What do you guys do? Do you put everything on your wish list, or how do you decide what goes and what doesn't?
Kind of everything, whatever I can remember to actually put on there. If not, it's on Amazon's wish list.
I don't really focus on my wish list that much.
Yeah, me either. I mean, I have one, but it's not a huge deal to me.
I'm like, do I even have anything on my wish list right now?
He's checking.
I got 225 items on my wish list.
Wow.
I have, I think, 7 items on my wish list. I used to have, at one point, I had 600 items on my wish list, but my collection only had 100 items. Now I own over 700 items and only have 7 things left on the wish list.
But yeah, no, you hear some of the stuff like on here. Cannon Spike. Let's see what else. Dracula X, Bloodlines.
I've got one thing on my wish list. Mega Man.
That's a nice thing to have on the wish list. Let me ask you, Red Blaze, Dracula X for what platform in your wish list?
Oh, Super Nintendo, because I don't have a TurboGrafx.
Do you have a Sony PSP?
I already own that version.
Ah, okay. Did you know that
I think I kind of got it on there because at one point I wanted to try and get like the complete Castlevania collection, but due to that and the TurboGrafx version, there's no way I'm paying that much.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I went the cheap way because, yeah, I could buy it complete. Castlevania X Chronicles, I think they call it. And, yeah, it comes with Castlevania X, or Rondo of Blood, as it was known on the TurboGrafx 16. And then an unlockable in that collection is the Symphony
It's
of
the
the
original
Night.
version, yeah. I'm the one who brought that up originally.
Well, no, it's Symphony of the Night, right?
It's both, I believe.
Oh, both are unlockables?
I believe so.
Ah, okay. So, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, other ones: Gunbird 2, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure on Dreamcast, Lost Kingdom 2. Just naming some stuff here. Mega Turrican. Just a bunch of titles that are a little overpriced. Panasonic Q.
Yeah, the Panasonic Q. Tell us a little. I know what it is, but for the folks that are going, what the hell's a Panasonic Q? Tell them about it, guys. This is actually a really awesome thing. While he's talking about it, I'm gonna do a screen share and pull up the product on eBay.
In a nutshell, it's basically a GameCube that can play DVDs. And there's two versions. One of them is actually free, apparently, or some people will modify it, I guess. I want to get a modified one, and there's also a special GameCube player or Game Boy Advance player for it. And of course, I'm done pretty much talking about it before you even
No,
bring
it's
it up.
okay. We could still. It's actually I have one in my. I have one in my share. I have one in my watch list actually. That is not the watch list. There we go. This is the Panasonic Q.
Yeah, defective.
So yeah, this one is the defective one is cheap. You can get that one for a cool $250. I've actually seen these things go for $1,500 and $1,200 on eBay.
I've never seen it that high.
Yeah,
it's been high, but not. I've never seen it that high.
Yeah, very recently, I think it was last week, one of them sold for $1,500 on eBay. Fully working. So that's a bit rich for my blood, but
that included a couple hundred games, was it, or something?
No, it was just the Q itself. So I agree, totally overpriced. But hey, if you want to have a GameCube that's also a CD player and it's looks like it was made by Apple Computer, then get the Panasonic Q. It's got the whole metal look going for it.
Yeah, I mean, I mainly want it because I'm a big fan of the GameCube.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty good. I only recently heard about it from another VG collector. I heard about it a couple of months ago, and
Really?
And then I forgot what it was called, and then I had to Google it for a while, but it took a while because what do you search for? Like GameCube CD player, right? It was like really bizarre. I think that's actually what I searched for, and then it was like 100 pages in or something. But so it was definitely not. It's not easy to find. You have to be looking for it and know what you're looking for specifically in order to dig it up.
Oh yeah.
Did you have anything in your wish list there, Mr. Nikon?
Just Mega Man 5. That's it.
Just Mega Man 5. Let's see. I got the Atari 7800 console. I've got the Heart of the Alien Out of This World Parts 1 and 2 for Sega CD. In fact, it's the only way that you can get Part 2 because the creator of the original basically disowned the second game. He was not happy with how the second game came out, which is ironic considering the fact that it got better reviews than the first game because it was more like a game than the first one. So what made for a better game, I guess, destroyed the original, the original creator's creative vision. So you'll never see a sequel for that. You'll never see that sequel re-released. The Horde for 3DO is also in my wish list, mainly because I'm a fan of Kirk Cameron. So this is one of the first early things that he did, and he was one of the few television/professional actors to actually make the jump into doing stuff for video games. So I thought that was pretty cool. The Last of Us remastered for the PlayStation 4 because it's The Last of Us remastered. Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword for the Wii I have in there. Mutant League Hockey for the Sega Genesis. Actually, that's on its way to my house currently. I bought that on eBay. I found a cart and manual for $50, which seems high priced, but a lot of them are asking now $100 or more for that game, and that game's kind of gotten ridiculously expensive.
A lot of games got ridiculously expensive.
Yeah, but I mean, this one just it just continues to get pushed up there. Sparkster for the Sega Genesis, also in my wish list. And then this is a weird one. Like, you'd think I already have it now, but I don't. Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link for the NES.
Oh. I thought you were going to say Tomb Raider for the Saturn.
No, actually, well, that would presuppose that I have a Saturn, which I don't, so don't quite have that. So, Mr. Nikon,
Yes.
if you could bring back one thing from the 80s, what would it be?
Oh, one thing from the 80s. I always wanted to have more of the Super Mario Brothers Zelda cereal. You know, it's 2 cereals in 1.
All right, T. Pugmire, what would you bring back from the 80s if you had the power?
Hell, I don't know. What do I bring back? I don't know. It's a good question. I can't really think of anything that hasn't been brought back already. You know.
I gotcha.
You got Star Wars. You know, let's bring them back.
Okay.
He-Man got brought back. Like all maybe like G.I. Joe cartoons. I liked those when I was a kid. Yeah. Haven't really seen those redone.
Alrighty. One of the things that I really want to see come back, and it actually is coming back. Bob Gale, Robert Zemeckis, and Spielberg are making this happen. October 21st, 2015, you'll be able to see Back to the Future in the theaters.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I will be there with my wife and my son. Even if things are going crazy at work, I will let the place burn to go see Back to the Future in the theaters. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is.
Hey. I was thinking of something completely stupid, but it'd be fun as hell to watch. I would bring back a younger Bruce Campbell into the future and just have banter between him and the older version.
Yeah. Have them both be in Old Spice commercials together, right? or
even do something with Evil Dead in it.
Yeah, did you see that there's a new series out on Stars that has...
There's going to be.
Yeah,
and
so...
It's funny with the trailer for that because it starts off with him basically trying to put on a corset.
Right.
To slim down.
And then I guess that girl, I guess her parents die or something, so he, makes a grave for him and says this really touching eulogy, and then she's like, we're Jewish, you realize. And he's like, I wish you'd told me that before I made these lame-ass crosses. So, it definitely looks like, looks fun.
They had Deep Purple playing in it.
Yeah. So, it looks like, what's going to be interesting about that is to see if it tries too hard to create the magic of the original, or if it just happens to do it. So I don't know.
Oh, something I just thought about. Bring back the classic, sitcom intro. You know, they had the big theme songs going on there. You know, and now that's pretty much they just quick intro and they're into the show. You know.
Yeah. Or if it's Lost, right? You just have a font float on a gray background, and it's like, wow, really? That was wow.
Yeah,
the graphic designer really busted his ass on that one, huh?
And I remember the old when do the end credits. Sometimes the shows there'll be live action and they'll freeze the A-Team was classic for doing that.
Oh yeah, I would love to see. I want to see a sequel to the A-Team movie because I wasn't really expecting much from that movie. I saw it on Blu-ray. I Netflixed it. I didn't see it in the theater. But after I Netflixed it, I was very, very pissed off with myself for not actually having seen that movie in the theater because it was a genuinely fun movie. For me, a big A-Team fan as a kid. Before I saw it on Netflix, just to make sure I had my expectations set correctly, I actually rewatched the pilot episode on Netflix. And so when I got the Blu-ray and I'm watching it, it's like they nailed all the characters. They nailed the campiness of the story and all that other stuff. I thought that they did this amazing job. And then I go back and I read all these reviews that just flamed the movie, and they're like, they messed up this character, they messed up that character. They were saying, stuff like the crazy character was over the top, and I'm like, did you guys ever watch the show?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I don't know what they were expecting. They were expecting it to be like Inception or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I watched like the first whole season of it before I watched that movie.
Okay,
'Cause
what were your thoughts of the movie?
It wasn't bad, honestly.
There you go. What'd you think of the show?
It wasn't bad.
Nice.
I like the show much better. You know.
I mean, it definitely works better episodic, but the movie wasn't that bad.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, what I loved about
you had Liam Neeson in it.
Yes,
How could
Liam Neeson did an excellent job as Hannibal.
Yeah.
There's Liam Neeson playing Liam Neeson.
Just happened to say, I love it when a plan comes together.
I love it when a plan comes together. He was awesome in that movie. Like the thing that I loved about it was I remember as a kid watching A-Team with my dad, and my dad would be sitting there watching like stuff like like you're seeing like Face like run from bullets and like cover his head and everything as like you got like this like 5 people, 5 terrorists are like shooting at a banister, and the banister like takes all the bullets, and Face manages to run through it just fine. And my dad's like, what do you need? You can't outrun bullets. What is that? What is that? Right? And so like the show was known for like just like over the top action, like this could not possibly be like real. And what was amazing was like for me the part in the movie where they did that was when you see they're flying the tank, right? The tank falls out of the cargo bay of like the helicopter or whatever, and then they're steering the tank by like moving the turret around and like shooting and like specific things. And I'm watching this going like, that is absolutely ridiculous. There's no way. And then they show the people on the ground going, what are they doing? They're like, they're flying a tank, right? Like, I love how like everybody except for the A-Team in that movie was in on the joke.
Yeah.
So I liked how the A-Team, they were just being who they were. Meanwhile, everybody else is going, this is like not even remotely possible. What the hell, right? So I thought that was kind of cool the way they did that.
Also I think that what they really helped people's opinion was 2 months later the Expendables got released, and that had like all the old actors, Sylvester Stallone, all those guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's about the A-Team. No one really ever died in the A-Team in the shows.
Yeah.
Only one guy did, but it's like they're talking about this one scene. They're flying a helicopter. Helicopter crashes on the side of the mountain, comes crashing down, explodes, and like 4 guys just get out and just like start brushing themselves off. Like nothing happened.
Their aim was just as bad as stormtroopers.
Yeah, it's like 5 stormtroopers fire and miss, right?
And the red shirt dies anyways.
Yeah, the red shirt dies anyway. So that pretty much summed up the A-Team. Another one that was like that was there's another show that they recently just redid that was from the 80s as a movie, and I wasn't expecting much from it, but it actually turned out to be pretty good. But,
Movie?
How about shows from like this is more 70s show? They're doing The Man from U.N.C.L.E. now. It's coming out as a movie. I saw that, I'm like, wait, what?
they've just run out. The well hath runneth dry of ideas.
The movie.
Did they recently redo Knight Rider as well?
They did. They tried to redo the show and it didn't work out too well.
It was Knight Rider 2000.
Yeah.
Yeah, all I remember from that is that they had a Zebrahead song on it, and that was about it.
What they need to do is they need to remake Baywatch.
Eh.
No, you shut your mouth. They need to remake Baywatch.
VIP?
Telling you.
You know what they are remaking, though?
What's that?
Xena. Warrior Princess.
They're remaking Xena?
Or reboot.
Rebooting. Now, okay, reboot it means different characters and all that stuff, right?
Depends. It's really just talks right now.
Ah, okay.
And I know that the original actress for Xena was really pushing it, actually.
Now, here, spoiler alert for anybody that hasn't seen the last season of Xena. You might want to turn down the volume for a little bit. Let me know when you've turned the volume down. I'm just kidding. I won't give the spoiler. Do you plan to watch the last season of Xena?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That means I gotta watch it all.
Let's just say I've seen every season except for I think the last 2 seasons. Like, there was a point at which I think they forgot their core audience, and they started catering to a new audience, and I just kind of like lost interest because the show was always kind of campy, but it became campy to an extent that it was like I couldn't suspend disbelief anymore because the characters clearly knew that they were characters in a show at that point, right? So that's when I really had an issue with the show, and I stopped watching. But I did keep up with how it ended, and let's just say the way it ended, you can't come back from that. there's no way to come back from how they ended it. So it'd be interesting to see if they do a reboot, right? Like how do they I don't think they can pick up where they left off. Do they try to start earlier? That would be weird if they pick the same actors because the actors are so much older. But
yeah, wasn't Bruce Campbell in that also?
Bruce Campbell was. In fact, what's really interesting is you'll see Bruce Campbell, you'll see Lucy Lawless, and you'll see what's his name there that played Joxer, Ted Raimi. You'll see those guys in a lot of shows together. Like just about every Spider-Man movie that was done by Sam Raimi had Ted, had Bruce, and had Lucy in it. Bruce and Lucy were in there as cameos, but Ted was actually in it as, remember the real lanky, skinny guy that was kind of like always at the newspaper? He'd always have these ideas, and then his boss would be like, "Your idea sucks," and he goes, "You know what we need to do?" And then he'd say the exact same thing, and he'd be like, "Great idea, sir." But that was Ted Raimi, so he's Sam's nephew. Now, what I'm bummed about is Ted is a really good actor. I don't know why we don't see him in more stuff. I don't know if it's just he doesn't feel like it, or if I would have to really look him up on IMDb. Maybe he does more stuff behind the scenes, but I really thought he was a great comedic actor. I really thoroughly enjoyed the episodes of Xena and Hercules that featured, Joxer.
Talk about like TV shows that ending weird, from the 80s. St. Elsewhere. I don't know how that ended. The Tommy Westphall universe.
I don't remember.
I didn't watch that show, so I don't really know.
Pretty much, St. Elsewhere was this big, hospital drama, and it ends, this kid who apparently is autistic looking to a snow globe, and it's got the hospital in there, so the whole show was made up in his head.
Yeah, I remember seeing that on one of those I beloved shows, the ones where they do the decades on VH1.
Yeah, so this show didn't actually. So this whole hospital and everything happened in this hospital was going on in this kid's head, and
It's weird.
And there's this whole map of St. Elsewhere, all the shows that it connected with. It Homicide, Life on the Street crossed over into St. Elsewhere, and all that. So it just
did it have Mark Hamill in it, or Mark Harmon?
Mark Harmon was in Chicago Hope.
Or am I the guy who's now on NCIS?
Yeah, he was in Chicago Hope, the other hospital drama show.
Oh.
I know when I was a kid, I certainly wasn't thinking of hospitals and surgeries and all kinds of other
No, me too.
stuff.
I was watching Full House and Perfect Strangers.
Yes.
I have a hatred for Full House.
Well, your hatred will be born anew because they're doing a reboot of Full House.
Well, it's 'cause you didn't grow up with it either. I liked it too, but I was a kid then, so.
Yeah. I liked it until a certain point. That point was when we got cable and it got syndicated to where, literally, there was a 4-hour stretch where, or no, I'm sorry, not 4 hours. There was a 2-hour stretch where, okay, this station's playing Full House, then this station's playing, then this station's playing, and my sisters, I had 3 younger sisters.
That's exactly, and I only had one sister.
They just flipped through the Rolodex from one to the other to the other, and of course it's syndication, so it's not even like I'm watching like different episodes of Full House. It's like the same 10 episodes every single day for like months. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Like, come on, I'm a fan of Dave Coulier, but cut it out. Alright, just not even called for.
You were talking about intros earlier that you want to see them back, right?
Yeah.
I want to see one done like Jack of all trades again, where it's basically just a musical.
Oh, I'm not familiar with that one. I'll have to look that one up.
I'll send you a link to it later.
Alright, so speaking of a link to it later, folks, it is later, and it is time for us to watch Kung Fury. Now, we have a YouTube app that allows us in the Google Hangout to watch Kung Fury together. And then there's like a push-to-talk thing. But I want to give full disclosure, we don't actually know what's going to show up for our live viewers. So, Mr. Nikon, how many live viewers do we currently have?
1.
All right, so our one
fighter pilot.
Our one Canadian viewer.
I got it up.
Oh, that's you?
Yeah.
You got it up? That's what she said.
Oh, wait.
Hey-o. Yeah,
Alright, and we lost our PG rating for the night.
We went to PG-13.
Yeah, I brought it up so I could see if it is actually showing or not.
Okay. So, for everyone who's watching this not live, which is basically all the known universe. Right. What you may have to do is you may actually have to, from the moment we say go, you might have to open up, if you're going to watch this episode and you want to see it in full context. If you don't see Kung Fury, there's going to be a moment where we say go, and you're going to want to have a separate window open with Kung Fury, which we'll post the link to down below, and watch them both together. So you should be able to watch Kung Fury as well as hear our commentary regarding Kung Fury.
Yeah, give them a 3-second countdown.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. So, Mr. Nikon,
yes,
if you want to do the honors.
I'll do that.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna start it in 3,
No.
2,
You won't be able to hear it.
1.
I know. Also.
So I actually had a skateboard like that back in the 80's.
Notice that every time he fires, he's pulling his middle fingers.
Boom, headshot.
That's a bit of a fire hazard in that apartment right now.
His only word to her, yeah, that's my bicep.
That girl's going to get kidnapped, isn't she?
Not the doggy!
I like the VCR effect there.
Yeah, Red Blaze, you don't know what you missed out on with the VCR.
What are you talking about? There's VCRs in the 90s. The tongue there.
I love this music because it has a very Miami Vice feel, especially hear how it fades out.
Oh, the boom boxes. That's not big enough to be cool.
Yeah, this scene has a very Terminator feel to it.
Almost reminds me of Lethal Weapon a bit.
Yeah, Power Glove. It's so bad.
Hey, he's playing Blood Dragon.
I particularly like when he's coding in ASDF, ASDF, ASDF. You're never gonna guess where this is going.
I'm gonna guess that he traveled too far back and went into the time of the dinosaurs.
You're not entirely correct.
Is it Highlander? Nope, not Highlander.
I love how just totally random the past is in this movie.
I know.
By the way, the guy's voice reminds me of the main character from Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, Rex Power Colt. Next time you should use a DeLorean.
Music has that Terminator vibe.
And of course, Thor knows where Nazi Germany is exactly.
I like how they're just like, what the hell was that about?
He should have took the chance while he had it. Oh, the bad puns.
Oh, they're not done with that yet.
Where's Blazkowicz when you need him?
This whole next scene is like a live action 1-inch punch. Try to count how many people get hit in the nuts.
Well, this guy obviously played Devil May Cry.
My army of death.
Death!
Keep the nut shot count going. We'll compare notes after. And the movie's over. So this music right now is actually David Hasselhoff. No kidding.
He did have a few albums that made it big in Germany, and apparently he had a special concert at the when the wall was going down, wearing a light up suit jacket.
Yeah, he actually he did the soundtrack for portions of the movie, and they have a full-blown 80s style music video of True Survivor. So True Survivor.
No dinosaurs were extinct in the making of this movie.
All right, I think we're all done with the video part of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but
Can't wait for the sequel.
yes. Now, for those of you who have been watching live, all 0 of you, don't worry, because what I'm going to do is post-work, through the magic of post-production, I'm going to actually take this end segment, and I'm going to actually take the Kung Fury video and embed it into our watch-through of it. So the cool thing is, I don't think it showed the video live, but we should be able to have a post-live edited version of this episode where you can actually see us with our commentary and our reactions as we're watching the movie. But so now everybody here has seen it. I guess first, Red Blaze, based on that movie, what are your thoughts of the 80s?
Still don't like hair metal.
But do you feel even a little bit like you missed out on something?
Not really, because, I mean, I've got the stuff to watch anyways.
What are your thoughts, Marty McFly?
Remind me of a lot of other movies I've seen. You know, you had of course, you had a Knight Rider reference at the end, and 2001: Space Odyssey reference at the end. You know, and I just keep catching on these references from the movies that I remember watching.
Now, is it just me, or did the part where they actually show like the Viking Age? Did that seem like very much like a never-ending story-ish type of reveal of the world?
Little bit, not too much.
Too.
So, Tyler, what were your thoughts on that movie?
I don't know. I liked it. It was interesting.
That's it? It was interesting?
Yeah, it was interesting.
Was there any...
There's a lot of, things that, I don't know what you'd really call it, like the car that he drove, very Miami Vice-ish, kind of things.
The Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Really, the only thing I can say is that it was missing a Flash Gordon reference.
Yeah, it definitely was. It was, actually.
That's like the one thing that I kept thinking would show up, and it didn't.
Well, don't despair, folks, because he tried to raise, I don't remember how much it was, but this was actually, it started with a Kickstarter project, and if you do some Googling, you can find the trailer for it.
He raised $630,000 for it.
Right, but that's three times the amount he wanted to raise for it.
Yeah, he wanted to raise $200,000.
Yeah. So the good news is, I read recently that he will be making a feature-length version but he's not just going to make a take what you currently saw and extend it out. He's actually doing a Ground Zero melt and repour. So it'll be kind of loosely based on the short that we just saw, but you know, in his mind, hopefully it'll be way better. So more references, more campiness.
Hey, there's also a game for it.
Yes, there is. There's a game that you can get out on Steam, and I don't remember what's the name of the game.
Kung Fury Street Rage.
There you go. It's
Pays
very
homage
much
to classic beat 'em ups such as Streets of Rage, Double Dragon, and Final Fight.
yes. Now something to keep in mind though, it's a lot like, I don't know if you guys have played One Inch Punch. Yes.
I have played
that. So it's more like that than like Streets of Rage and Double Dragon. So just to let you know, there's only really one map, and you basically just beat the crap out of people until they overwhelm you. So anybody that's looking for like a side scroller beat 'em up with bosses and all that other stuff, it's not that kind of a game. So worth $1 of entertainment. You know, if it's worth more than that, that's kind of up to you. But just know there's not a lot of variety to the gameplay.
All right.
So anyway, that, folks, that has been our celebration of the 80s. I certainly love the 80s. But I was born before the 80s. I was born in 78. My wife was born in 82. So she still got to experience most of the 80s, but she only remembers about half of it. So.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, because I was born in 78 also. You know, the first, 8 or 10 years of your life, you're sort of like on drugs, like you don't know what's going on. You just sort of,
Yeah.
So.
Funny guys.
Or your parents are on drugs, right? Your parents are on drugs and you're getting the secondhand smoke, so.
Could be.
When you could smoke in restaurants and all that.
Yes. Back in the good old days when you could share the lung cancer love. So, yeah. Folks, I'm pretty sure we're over time, but this has been Retro Reload. We want to thank you for tuning in. There's going to be another show on Thursday nights by our East Coast crew, so be sure to tune in for that. We're always open to stuff that you guys want to see and hear about on the show. You can leave us a message here down in the comments below. Tell us what you liked, what you hated, what you want to see more of. But also feel free to use, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook. Hit us up on any of our venues and, feel free to throw down ideas for shows and that kind of thing. We're certainly open to it. We want to hear your feedback. So.
Yes. And check out VGCollect.com.
Yes.
Yes. Check out VGCollect.com. It's an excellent way to catalog all of your games and save your friends $100 or more on your car insurance by switching to Geico. Totally unrelated, but I didn't know where else to go with that one. I kind of opened the door and then stuff just happened.
Awesome.
Alrighty, Mr. Nikon, do you want to do us the honors and close down the show with the? I think you're the unlive person.
Yes. Thank you all for watching and
Good
night.